Hello and welcome back. My name is SP and I am part of the GonnaGeek.com podcast network. I also co-host a podcast called Better Podcasting, which is a podcast to help the hobby podcaster actually make their podcast better. So thus the name Better Podcasting. What I've been doing in conjunction with that is I've started this Twitch stream and then turned it into a YouTube channel that will give a walkthrough of my editing. Now, I am using Vegas Movie Studio 15.0 for video, and then I'm transitioning over to Audacity for a pure audio edit of the remaining edit that needs to get done. And I've been walking through these edits with explanations on what happens along the way. So I am editing my other show, which is called Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a podcast on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which includes The Punisher. And we are discussing The Punisher episode 5 of season 1 in this edit. So fair warning, in case you don't want to be spoiled, that is what we are talking about. And I will be going through the edit here. I have about 20 minutes to edit, and I will hopefully get up to minute 25 of this hour-long podcast. I'm right now on minute 17. So we will hopefully be able to progress from there, and I will be able to get this posted. But if you have any questions, please let me know in the Discord, or in the Twitch stream. Go ahead and leave a question there if you happen to catch this live. If you're catching the posted version later on YouTube, leave a comment down below, and please give the timestamp of the video on where you have a question about, so I have a reference area for that. And you can always catch me on Twitter at Stargate Pioneer. You can email me, stargatepioneer@gonnageek.com. And you can also catch me on our network Discord server, which is gonnageek.com/Discord. And you can join in over there and ask me any questions over there on this as well. And once again, please leave a description on which video and the time code stamp. With that, I'm going to get right down into it and continue this video edit. By the way, if you watched the last video, I did not have to close it out. This is the exact same file. It eventually got caught up. I clicked save right away, and we are now starting from that point, which is about the 17 minutes, 8 seconds marks. I just put the cursor back at about 17 minutes just to get flow into what I am saying. So here we go. It was interesting watching them both go back and forth with each other. Now, Dinah has a lot of training. She's been in interrogation for quite some time, and I believe this is where I needed to stop it before. Now, Dinah has a lot of training. She's been in interrogation for quite some time, and quite honestly, what Karen hasn't picked up, she's just a natural with. So it is interesting watching those two go back and forth, and I'm guessing it's not the last time we're going to see them both in a room questioning each other on or off the record.
I like how Micro has a camera on.
I didn't throw it to either of the girls specifically. This is just a little presenting issue. You can try to make it more conversational flow, in which case you're just leaving it open for somebody else to come in, or you can direct somebody. Like I could have said, so Michelle, what do you think about that there? And she'd be able to go in. The reason I'm saying all this is it caused me an edit point here where I had to take off Lauren over speaking Michelle to make it a cleaner transition. Each other on or off the record.
I like how Micro has a camera on Karen's windowsill, and he's like, Frank, you got mail, and we see the flowers. I'm wondering, those have to be new flowers. Karen has to be going out and buying new flowers because, I mean, wouldn't they be dead by now? Or do you think she's actually being able to take care of them?
If it was me, I would just go to
couple there. Okay, because there's overspeak and the camera's going to go to me. Oop. Control Z undoes that, by the way. There we go. Let's see what this looks and sounds like.
Take care of them.
If it was me, I would just go to Walmart or.
I don't need that.
If it was.
Yep.
If it was was me, I would just go to Walmart or something and buy some of those plastic flowers.
True, but those are daisies, right? They look like daisy. They last longer than a rosewood or whatever. So, I mean, there's something about that. Rosewood or whatever. So, I mean, there's something about that. As a guy who has bought flowers before, I tend to know a thing or two about flowers. They're not desirable, but they look nice and they last long. So, I guess any flower is good.
Yeah,
But
I'm not a flowers person, so
she's into biology and doesn't like flowers. That's interesting, Laura. I guess any flower is good.
yeah, I'm not a flowers person, so
But they could be fake to begin with too. I mean, do we know they were real?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really bad about telling.
Nope. Yeah.
I'm really bad about telling.
And you can see Lauren's husband Scott transitioning in the background.
Don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really bad about telling.
Yeah.
Like I have to. I'm one of those people like if I see a flower in a like I have to. I'm one of those people like if I see a flower in a vase, I have to go poke it.
You have to poke the flower.
I do.
Making that noise with me. Nope. It's Lauren.
You have to poke the flower.
I do. I want to know if it's
That should help. It might not be Lauren, by the way. She's got a very active cat in the background that might be making all that noise.
in a vase. I have to go poke it.
You have to poke the flower.
I do. I want to know if it's real or not, so I have to go poke it.
I was wondering if this was some weird sort of biology thing. Yes, it stimulates growth in the weird sort of biology thing. Yes, it stimulates growth in the flowers. You have to poke them.
No, actually, a lot of times if it's a really delicate plant, but if you poke it, it'll die. But I have to know if it's real or not. So I end up like poking flowers in vases, and people are like, "Please don't do that." And I'm like, "But is it real?" I'm also the weirdo who used to like chew on, when I was a kid, I would chew on those little fruits in bowls to try to figure out if they were real or not. And most of the time they were fake. So then I just end up like chewing on fake grapes.
Sometimes you can't tell.
Yeah. Speaking of trying to tell fake from real.
Oh, don't
Fake grapes.
Sometimes you can't tell.
Yeah. Speaking of trying to tell fake from real, we see Agent Orange.
Out of Michelle, and thinking that creek is Lauren.
Fake from real. We see Agent.
Yep. Well, that just makes me want to take out everything I see here.
Chewing on fake grapes.
Sometimes you can't tell.
Yeah. Speaking of trying to tell fake from real, we see Agent Orange is working in the CIA, and he says, "I am William Rollins." Fake name, real name. I'm going with fake.
Yeah, William Rollins is not a real name. I actually, yeah, it's probably not a real name. Not a real name. Yeah, it's probably not a real name. But it's the one he goes with inside the CIA.
I like how he gets a medal that he can't keep.
That's been pretty well documented in films and whatever for quite some time. The whole Jack Ryan thing, he got one of those medals. In some of those medals are there's a wall supposedly in the CIA. There's a wall supposedly in the CIA headquarters. There's stars for those who've lost their lives, but I think there's a wall that gives the fake names and the awards. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, there's a lot of those in this country. Looked like a pretty big
I'm
medal.
not surprised.
They might have.
But
Also, we've I guess he's lost an eye from the last time we've seen him.
Those in this country.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But we
Also,
learn.
we've I guess he's lost an eye from the last time.
Okay. This is the person that keeps talking wins out. So Lauren gets the nod. That's a Stephen John Drew rule, or at least one that I've learned from Stephen. Person that keeps talking, and it's probably the person that you need to tip your hat to and give the opportunity to talk to in this country.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Also, we've I guess he's lost an eye from the last time we've seen him in the flashback.
Which eye did he lose? I was having trouble distinguishing.
It looked like the
left
eye.
Which eye?
And we've seen him in the flashback.
Which eye did he lose? I was having trouble distinguishing.
It looked like the left eye. When he first showed up, I'm like, is he wearing a contact? And then he mentioned that he'd lost an eye.
So it was moving though with the other eye. Actually, I didn't see his eyes move all that much together. So
yeah, I don't know.
I know the heard a couple of ticks in there, and I think it was from both Lauren and me. So let's see what this sounds like. Move all that much together. So
yeah, I don't know.
I know the right
But we
eye.
learn.
The right eye was kind of. She's tried to cut in about 3 different times here. I think I recognize that, and I think I throw it to her eventually. Yeah, I do. The right eye was kind of squinting a little bit, so it was difficult for me to determine which was real and which was the fake one.
It was probably what it.
Yeah. Hear that click, that mouth click? Which was real and which was the fake one.
It was probably what it probably was is that they were saying, oh, he lost vision in the eye or something like that because he clearly doesn't have a glass eye. If you've ever seen, he clearly doesn't have a glass eye. If you've ever seen somebody who has a prosthetic eye, I mean, mostly it's pretty hard to tell. But if you go back and you watch, say, Columbo or The Princess Bride and look at Peter Falk, you can kind of go back and you watch, say, Columbo or The Princess Bride and look at Peter Falk. You can kind of tell.
I think I actually can edit this out.
Peter Falk. You can kind of.
Nope.
Princess Bride and look at. And look. And look.
Wow.
Columbo or The Princess Bride and look at Peter Falk. You can kind of tell that one eye isn't quite. You can kind. You can kind. You can.
Okay, cutting that out.
Falk. You can kind of. Falk. You can.
That doesn't make any sense. So she's starting to take a breath, but it doesn't really make sense to keep it in because she starts talking way over there. So I had to edit that out too. When you start sculpting around a short little break like that with a crutch word, you just have to listen with your ears. In this particular case, if you're on Audacity, you'd just be able to see the waveform, but couldn't see it here.
And look at Peter Falk. You can kind of tell that one eye isn't quite moving the same as the other.
Okay, well, Michelle, what else do we know?
Moving the same as the other.
Okay, well, Michelle, what else do we know about Agent Orange / William Rollins?
Well, we learn he's trying to.
Okay, well, Michelle, what else do we know about Agent Orange / William Rollins?
Well, we learn he's trying to clean out his closet, or basically kill everything that's in his closet because he wants that promotion. His boss is like, is there anything? It's that promotion. His boss is like, is there anything I need to know that can come and bite me or bite you? And he's like, no, of course not.
The guy has a different definition.
His boss is like, is there anything I need to know that can come and bite me or bite you? And he's like, no, of course not.
The guy has a different definition of spring cleaning than most of us.
Oh.
The guy has a different definition of spring cleaning than most of us.
Yeah, and you have to think that the boss kind of knew that there was something like this going on, and she was basically giving him. Wow, I'm still hearing that. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's definitely chair creaks going on. Yeah, and you have to think that the boss kind of knew that there was something like this going on, and she was basically giving him orders to make sure that he was clean because they're going to need to be clean in the future for political. I can see that in DC. Just we've seen it recently with make sure that he was clean because they're going to need to be clean in the future for political reasons. I can see that in DC. Just we've seen it recently with politics and everything. I don't want to get into recent events, but higher levels within the CIA are political. They're not exactly work related. Or careerists. Work exactly work related. Okay, I'm going to save so I don't get upset at myself. Work related. So we will see what happens in the future, especially since we know he might think he succeeded, but I don't know. He did not. When the last person died of the team, there was 8 people in the team, and Frank and Gunner basically take them all out. I'm going to take that crutch word out. And Frank and Gunner basically take them all out. And that was an interesting, let's talk about that, because that was an interesting fight scene. That was the first kind of TV or small screen that I saw from a POV version of basically like a Halo version. And it was an interesting way to depict it.
So this whole fight scene comes about.
Somebody's breath there.
So this whole fight scene comes about. Frank saw the video that, okay. We'd previously.
Get rid of Lauren's little crutch word here. Although she's transitioning. The final audio edit, this section might completely change. Because when Lauren changes paths like that, sometimes it's easier just to like maybe get rid of the entire section. But with video, it's harder to do that. When you only have one perspective, one shot. If you have 2 cameras or 2 perspective shots, you can cut back and forth. And I think I've talked before, it's been a couple of weeks, about making some sort of like a swipe or something that I could use to transition from one to another, and that could cover up some edits too. But if you use that too much, like if you're doing a quick cut every 5 seconds or less, the swipe's not going to do it. Otherwise, the swipe's going to be going throughout the entire thing.
Frank saw the video that, okay, we'd previously seen, what's his name?
Oh, no. I inadvertently moved that track when I stopped it, so I did a Control Z to move it back.
Seen, what's his name?
Frank or Gunner?
No, the video
Micro?
that Gunner made. No, the video that Gunner made in Afghanistan.
Yes.
Of Madani's contact. I'm blanking out on his name.
Oh,
Starts with a Z.
the cop, the local cop in Kandahar.
Yeah. Of Madani's contact. I'm blanking out on his name.
Oh,
Starts with a Z.
the cop, the local cop in Kandahar. The cop, the local cop in Kandahar.
Yeah. But somebody in that team had made a video. Somebody in that team had made a video of this guy's execution. And Micro found it, played it for Frank. Frank is like, okay, this is the guy that must have made it. They thought the whole thing was, they thought Frank had made the tape, and that's why they killed Frank's family. So Frank is like, I'm going to go talk to Gunner. Finds Gunner living out in the woods, That's when Frank gets shot in the shoulder with an arrow. Because guess what? Being hunted.
That.
Shot in the shoulder with an arrow. Because guess what? Being hunted by the government makes you really paranoid. Frank, you really should have seen this coming. And then a team comes and hunts. They talk a little bit, and then a team comes and hunts them down. I was really looking forward to this scene, not just because of the action, but because one of the guys playing the kill team there is Travis Willingham, who's a voice actor that I really love. If you've ever seen Full Metal Alchemist, he plays Roy Mustang. It was like his first big role. He's been a voice in like freaking everything. And if anybody here watches Critical Role, he's on that. And I'd seen like a behind the scenes thing that he posted on his Twitter. Oh, thanks for letting me be on this. And it was one of the like the teaser clips they showed promoting the show.
Ooh. I think I know about what time.
Promoting the show.
All right. One of the things that I forgot in order to tell me exactly where I am in the edit is I've been deleting the soundboard file as I go. The soundboard file is literally a file that I got in there just to tell me where the bumps are. As you can see, one there for the end of this segment, the end of the next segment, and the end of the next segment, and the outro. So I know where those are and can put them in. And then I re-put them in like on that track right there. But it gives a good indicator because I haven't cut anything. Gives a good indicator of exactly where I am in the edit, so that when I stop and close the file, when I bring it back up, I'm like, okay, that's where I'm at right there. So I did that this time, and as you can see, I'm going to end this right now because I'm at my allotted time and it's 25 minutes into the podcast. So I got to go. I got to take care of some things, and I might be back later tonight. And if not, I will be back tomorrow to do at least 5 or 10 minutes of this. You can see this takes a lot of time doing it this way, but I'm also explaining as I go, and you won't have to do that. So you're going to be going a little bit faster if you edit this way. So that's it for this video. Come back next time, which I will start again with Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 261 at about the 25-minute mark on the Netflix show Punisher, and using Vegas Movie Studio 15.0. It's my walkthrough. If you want to get in touch with me, ask me a question about this, go ahead, leave a comment on the YouTube video. I will see that and respond to you. Please leave a time code of what exactly you're talking about in the comment so that I can review it before responding. Also, you can always hit me up on Twitter at Stargate Pioneer. You can email me, stargatepioneer@gonageek.com, and then you can join our Discord server and perhaps get some editing tips from somebody else like Steven, who also uses Vegas Movie Studio, and a few of the other better podcasting listeners do as well. You can get that at Discord, and we have a short link, gonageek.com/Discord. And until the next video, I'm SP from gonageek.com and Better Podcasting, and I will see you next time. Bye.